The Last Samurai is undoubtedly a masterpiece of filmmaking, a modern-day work of art. It is an expression of the stunning beauty that can be found in Japanese culture. But what is it exactly about this film that captivates our imagination? What is it about the samurai that is so awe-inspiring? And why do these characters so effortlessly soothe an overly anxious mind plagued by the externalities of modern-day existence? What exactly is it about this film that we find so appealing? And why should we consider it to be exceptional? Should we attribute it to the romantic ideals of duty and honor, or perhaps it is the exquisite speeches about fate and mortality? Among the many themes that are explored in this film, there is one that stands out above all others. It is the glue that holds everything together. There is something that the samurai possess that is uncommon in the modern world, most especially in the Western world. The samurai live simple, purpose-filled lives. Viktor Frankl wrote on finding meaning and happiness, striving to find a meaning in one's life as the primary motivational force in man. The samurai do not have easy lives, but what they do have is a clear sense of purpose. It is miraculous what a clear sense of purpose can do to uncomplicate a life filled with anxiety and doubt. Friedrich Nietzsche once wrote,
"He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how."
What Nietzsche meant was that a person who has a reason to live can bear almost any manner of life. The samurai do not live for individual desires. They do not live to obtain material wealth. They live to serve. They serve their country, their culture, and their communities, which ultimately serves themselves. In American culture, the individual is of primary importance, and in the celebration of rugged individualism, the importance given to the community is greatly overshadowed. To live a life above one's base desires is a noble and commendable existence. Americans suffer greatly from anxiety disorders, affecting 40 million adults. Many suffer from what is called diseases of despair due to long-term negative social and economic conditions. Diseases of despair include drug overdose, alcohol overdose, suicide, and alcoholic liver disease. The term diseases of despair has become popularized in the media because of its connection to the opioid epidemic. These problems have their roots in the massive amounts of economic inequality and the erosion of community. The worth of an individual has been reduced to a measure of their economic value. In Eastern cultures, where the importance of the community is greater than that of the individual, it is unthinkable to treat healthcare, education, or the care of the elderly as a commodity subject to the whims of the free market. A society that places an emphasis on the importance of the collective would treat the health needs of all, exactly as they would a close family member, without thought of the market value of a human life. The growing problem of the anxiety and diseases of despair is a result of a society that insists on telling the most vulnerable of individuals to pick themselves up by their bootstraps and to go at it alone, a society that considers greed a virtue as opposed to a symptom of a much deeper and more insidious disease. It may be technically correct to attribute the disparity in wealth and the current state of the American political and economic systems to bad actors of the billionaire class. While indeed this may be true, it is important to remember that these individuals are also products of their culture, and are operating under the presumption that an individual's desires are of the utmost importance, and their behavior is rational even if it is detrimental to society as a whole. The problem is partly individual responsibility, but it is also systemic and cultural. No culture is perfect and the characters in this film are highly romanticized, but the ideals that are represented are true value systems present in Eastern cultures and Eastern philosophies. These are ideals that the Western world can learn from, and Eastern cultures should celebrate and do well to remember. Thank you for watching.